Hi everyone, this is Grace of GB Maltese, and I thought I would do a diamond paint with me today. Just gonna chat, and I haven't done one in so long, and I really love doing them. I've been doing my lives, and I felt like, well, do you really want to listen to me just talk? And I think some of you like them better. If you'll just let me know, do you like to watch me chat and work on my diamond painting, so you can just listen and work on yours? I don't know. I have some things I want to talk about. I'm a little, I don't know, a little bit down today, so I'll tell you why in a minute. I mean, everything is going good. It's just probably something silly, but anyway, I wanted to show you. I know others have been using these. I've been using this for a while now. Just haven't talked about it. A lot of times I get new things and I don't show them. I know a lot of other channels, as soon as they get something new, they show it. I like to use them for quite a while before I talk about it. But I bought this on Amazon, and it has this piece here that you can take it out to pour your diamonds back into your hold containers, whatever you put them in. But you can shake them and they don't fall out. They don't come flying out at the end. You don't have to put like a piece of ticky-tack or wax or something to hold it. I don't like having to do that kind of stuff. And so when I saw these, I got 8 of these. I believe it was $10.50 or $10.95. Very cheap. So I've got quite a few of these, and I can put them in different rooms. I can do more than one color at one time if I so choose. Normally I do one at a time, and I just love it. It's just great. And I've had these for a long time. I've had these for probably 2 or 3 months. These are wood. I've gotten to where I enjoy my wooden diamond pins a lot. And I ordered this from a Facebook group. And I can link that below if you want, and I can link the tray. If I forget to link them down there, just remind me if you're interested in it, and I'll put the link to Amazon where I bought this and to my special ordered diamond painting pins. The man who does this, his name is Bill, and the Facebook group is Diamond Painting Pins Following the Grain, something like that. And they do acrylic pens also. I just happen to love wood, and I've gotten some from Crafted by Chris, and I love those too. It's just kind of fun to change them out a little bit and try different things. I don't remember what kind of wood these are, because it's been, like I said, it's been months. But I just don't think about making a video showing everything I get. I guess I should do that just to let you see what things are out there. I think these were 20. What you do is you pick out the kind of wood or the acrylic you want, and there's different prices depending on what you pick out. So depending on the material you get, they come with this one came with a single placer and with a straightener, and this one, they also come with a single placer, and this one also has a placer. I have another one from him also. It's just this, and this one has a 3 placer on it. And I can't remember if it came with all the placers or if it just came with these 2. Like I said, it's been a while. But these are the 4 that I ordered, and I believe they were $20 or $21. Like I said, it depends on the type of material you choose for your pens, but they're very pretty. He's been doing this for a long time, and he does acrylic, as I said. I just happen to like the wood. I told him to, these, let me see, these 2 were the ones I told him I wanted in this style. And then I told him, I said, the other 2, you do them how you want. And he did one in this, and then one like this. Just I said, just do whatever you want with it. And so he came up with these two, and I think they're all just beautiful. So I'll put the link below. He's really good at what he does. Someone, I think, saw me painting with this one once and asked about it, and I thought, well, I'll bring all 4 of them out here and show you. But I'm going to use this one today. I like the wood because they're lightweight, and I love to look at the grain in the wood. It's so pretty. So he does wood, he does acrylic, he will take your order, and he will pretty much do whatever you want. His name is Bill. I can't remember the last name. It starts with a K. It's kind of hard to pronounce. If I was looking at it, I might be able to pronounce it, but I can put a link down there if you're interested. You can go check them out. Join their Facebook group and see how you like it. Anyway, I thought I would work on my rose cottage. It's huge, and I've done some on it, as you can see. It's beautiful so far. Even my husband, when he saw me working on this, and I had it on I have a tabletop easel, and that's another thing I have never shown. I guess I could do a video on that I purchased from Amazon. I could do several videos, I guess, on things I've purchased. Are y'all interested in things like that? I really am not sure. This is one of the things I wanted to talk about. I sometimes will lately have been maybe gaining 1 subscriber, and I might lose 2 or 3. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just me. I don't have maybe what people are looking for on my channel. I really don't know. But if you could tell me some things that you would like to see or are interested in, I will certainly try to accommodate that. I can show things that I've purchased. Just didn't really think about people wanting to see all that, I guess. But I do see other channels showing all kinds of things. The things that I get, I've paid for. I don't have anyone sponsoring me or going out and telling people to watch my videos. So I'm kind of just on my own, a loner, I guess you might say. I guess I've always been that way. I'm not the most popular person that's ever lived. I never have been. And that's okay. I'm just me. And that was just something I kind of wanted to share about. Was I'm just a little sad to be losing subscribers, because I enjoy making my videos. I just really don't know what people want. I don't know if it's because I have talked about crochet some, or I'm not showing enough. I don't know what kind of videos, but I'll see my channels dying, and I see others just booming ahead. And yeah, it does hurt. It does make me sad. What can you do? What can you say? I've always done my channel to try to, the reason I even started my channel, which is I've had my channel up probably 3 years. At the beginning, I didn't do a whole lot, maybe 4 years. I was doing crochet, and I was still working, didn't have that much time. Then I retired, but then I went to working with first-year teachers, mentoring them and showing them some of the tips and tricks of the trade. So teaching is in my blood. I love to teach different things. If there are things you'd like me to teach you about diamond painting, some special type of video you'd like to see, or I have several that are wanting me to do some things with crochet, and I know that will get me, my diamond painting people won't want to see that, and you don't have to watch that. When I do diamond paintings, for a while I was losing crochet people. So you can't make everybody happy. I know that. But when I'm doing this type of a video, you can do any kind of craft you want. And I'm sorry, I'm being kind of a downer right now. I'll try to get over that as I'm talking, but I just wanted to get some of your ideas. If you're one of my people who who does watch, and I know everyone watches, several channels. I'm not the only channel out there, that is for sure, and I don't want to be, because I certainly don't know everything. I know a lot of things, but don't know it all. Never claimed to. To me, diamond painting is a way to relax. There is no right or wrong way. I don't care what anybody says. There really isn't. You do it however makes you happy. You don't have to be fast at it. I'm going exceptionally slow today. I'm just, I guess, maybe showing how I kind of feel with my placing. I usually go faster than this, but I'm also contemplating things that I want to say to you. And I don't know, maybe I shouldn't even put this video up. I don't know if you want to listen to this, but I don't know, I probably will. Just because I'd like to know your thoughts, your opinions. You're the ones who are watching. What kind of videos are you looking for? Which ones are you excited when you see it load up? Oh, I gotta go watch that one. I know that there are others who get a lot of free things to try out. Well, I guess maybe one of the last people think of to ask me to try their products out. Like I said, I normally purchase the things that I show. I don't have people saying, oh, well, I've had a couple of companies and I have done those, and that's been a while, but I don't know. It just hit me that losing subscribers is sad. It's like losing friends. Maybe they just didn't like my content. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you can help me out. I'm just a little bit curious as to losing subscribers, and if I've done something that has upset people or boring people or whatever. I usually try to be happy. I'm not always happy. That would be ridiculous to think that anybody's always happy. I haven't really talked much about it, but I do suffer severely from depression and anxiety. I do take medication. And I don't really talk about it much. I'm much better than I was when I was younger, because I finally got medications that would help me. I remember having to take a leave of absence 2 different times from teaching because my anxiety was so bad. I was having one panic attack after another, and I had to take a leave of absence because I was afraid to drive. I was afraid to leave the house. And I don't even know why I'm talking about that. I was talking about my channel. You may not be interested in hearing all of those things. And if I talk about my panic attacks, I can almost make myself have one because it's so close to the surface. I have to try not to go there and think about it too much. At one time, I couldn't control it at all. But thanks to some medications and, having some hobbies and crafts. And YouTube is a hobby for me too. I enjoy doing it. But when you have people leaving, and let's talk about some of the comments I get. I know other YouTubers have made their videos talking about comments. They're not the only ones who get ugly, hateful comments. I get them too. I've just never really talked about it a whole lot. I've had some people in the past basically almost tell me I was stupid and didn't know what I was talking about on certain things. I would never go around telling somebody they were stupid and didn't know what they were talking about when what I'm saying is maybe what I have found out. I've had, I had someone put and this was written in Russian. What's so funny, I put it into Google Translate and it didn't translate accurately. I have a sister-in-law who's Russian, so I just asked her, showed it to her, and I said, what does this mean? And I'm just going to say the initial because I don't really like saying the word. Don't get me wrong, I say it when I'm mad, but I'm not mad. I'm not going to curse anyone out. But it said, F, she's old. Like, you know, I can't look in a mirror and see what I look like. You know, I don't need people telling me how I look, my age, or anything like that. I really don't need why. When I went to I was going to erase it, so it had already been taken off. The thing is, when someone makes a comment on our videos, well, whoever the YouTuber is, we can go in to, we have a special place we go in, and we can see every comment that has been made. And that's where I will go to try to answer. I try to answer all my comments that I get. I haven't answered some from like a day ago. I've had some things I've had to do, and then I did my live yesterday, and then I wanted to do this today just to talk to you. But I try to always answer comments, and I'm like, I look at other videos and those YouTubers don't answer any comments or hardly any comments, and their channels are just thriving. Should I quit answering comments? Do you think that would help? I don't know. Maybe you don't like me commenting back. I've had people tell me thank you for commenting, especially people who have questions. So I'm guessing maybe they asked a question to somebody else and they didn't get a response. But that's just not me. If someone says something to me, I usually try to say something back. Now, there have been times that YouTube would not allow me to respond to a comment. Don't ask me why. It wouldn't. I'd try several times, and it just wouldn't let me reply to that person. So, I don't know. It doesn't happen very often, but it does occasionally. Otherwise, I will reply. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I mean, I was getting subscribers, you know, right and left, it seemed like, and it was so nice. I mean, I know you're going to have times that are down, but I'm just wondering, have I done something wrong? I don't know. I don't know. I hear people talking about drama that's going on. I stay out of the drama, so I don't even know what they're talking about. So maybe some people like the drama. I don't. So I try to keep it drama free because I really don't like that. As a teacher of 34 years, teaching third graders for 17 of those and junior high kids for 17 of those, believe me, I dealt with drama all the time. And the drama usually seems to be with the girls. I think our hormones are part of it. And I'm the kind of person, and I'll just tell you flat out, I'm a very sensitive person. I wear my heart right out there on my sleeve. So when you say something to me, sometimes it'll hurt my feelings, and you might not have meant it. I've made some videos, and people say, why would you do that? And well, a lot of times I like to do things to experiment with my art, just because to me this is art. This is something fun to do, and trying different things is a fun part of it to me. If you don't like to see me, you know, do different things with it, then please tell me. As I said, I will be doing some crochet videos because I am what I call a charity crocheter, and I make some things called twiddle muffs that I like to donate to nursing homes or people in need. They're for people who have Alzheimer's, dementia, anxiety. It can be something that can help a lot of different people. And I'll be doing a tutorial on how to make those because I've had a lot of requests from people. And if you don't like that kind of video, don't watch it. You don't have to watch it. So maybe you're interested in doing it, because you can do twiddle muffs for more than just with crochet, and I'll be talking about that more later. You probably don't want to hear that now. And I'm thinking, wouldn't it be cool, because I have a lot of people asking, what do you do with all those diamond paintings you make? And I have been thinking of other things, because I give them to friends. I have them hanging in my home. Some I just have stacked up. Not very many, because I give a lot of them away. I need to get more of them done. When I'm working on big ones, it takes more time, of course. And I am also doing crochet besides the diamond painting. So maybe I'm not getting enough diamond paintings finished for you. I don't know. Just tell me what you'd like to see, because I don't want to bore everybody. I don't want to be the last person to know, well, you know, shoot, Grace, I wouldn't watch her channel for $1 million. I had someone tell me they were leaving my channel. This was been a while ago when I did my Dreamer design. They sent me a canvas. That was very kind of them. And I was just doing an unboxing of it. And this person wrote, I'm not even going to watch this video. This, to me, this is going against the whole diamond painting community because of that company. I didn't understand what they were even talking about. And then they said, named a person that they felt that this company had done wrong. Well, you know, that's fine, but I had nothing to do with it. But to tell me that I was hurting the diamond painting community, well, that kind of hurt, because I didn't even know where that was coming from. I do now, but I'm not going to talk about it. Like I said, I don't care about the drama. And if people are going to leave my channel without even watching to see what I had to say, that's a little bit, I don't know, that's a cheap shot to me. And to write this long paragraph telling me why, but didn't bother watching, saying, I've been watching you for a long time. I mean, they've been watching even when I was crocheting. So, I don't know. If you have any answers, just let me know. And you're probably saying, okay, get off the subject now. Well, it's been on my mind for several weeks, and I just felt like I needed to share it. Like I said, I'm very sensitive to those kinds of things, and I'm a little probably being stupid about it. My husband just tells me, ignore the comments that are ugly. Well, yeah, well, someone took the time to personally write that to me. So, yeah, I do take it to heart. Because maybe, I don't know why. I have mostly the comments are just beautiful, and I appreciate those of you who make such lovely comments. And I have some that watch every one of my videos and always comment. That keeps me going. You know, you're some of the few that I will keep doing it for, even though there are times I want to quit, because sometimes when you just are going downhill, you're thinking, what's the use? Why even bother? Why would you continue with your channel when people obviously are getting sick of it? They're unsubscribing. So anyway, to move on, what kind of, I asked this earlier, what kind of videos do you like to see? I mean, do you like me doing my paint and chats? Do you like me showing new things? I mean, I don't have new things all the time. I can't afford to just keep buying new things. And the way I see it, I keep seeing all these new things, and I'm like, these people are going to think I'm telling you, keep spending your money, keep spending your money. That's one reason when I talk about a product like I'm talking about the pens and this tray, is because I've been using them for quite a while, and I don't want to make a comment on it until I've used it, and I love it. I really do. And I've said before, these pens like this help my hands. I have a problem with this part of my hand starting to hurt, and my hand just gets sore from holding the little pink pens. And I used to get the triangular pencil grips, and those work great, but these work so much better. I'm not having to grip tight. I can hold this anywhere I want to. As I'm diamond painting, if I want to hold it up higher, I can do that. I can hold it lower. You can get these plain. This one has pretty carvings in it. So everybody chooses a different style, and it's kind of fun to collect them, just to have something different. And when this one I run low on my wax, I just pick up another one of my pens. But I thought I would showcase these today since they are so pretty. Do you think I should do a separate video on this? I don't know. I just always hate for people to think, oh man, look at her just showing off. She's getting all these pens. And I know others show their things, but I don't like people to think that I'm being a show-off or anything. I save my money up to purchase some of these things. I wait a while before I go and purchase. And that's the reason sometimes you may not see a lot of video showing an unboxing or whatever. And I don't know if you want to see unboxings of me opening things that I get for other crafts. I do have and I probably will do a video on this one. I do have a counted bead. Okay, a bead cross stitch kit. I can't. Oh my goodness. Sometimes my tongue just gets tied up, or my mind isn't going where I'm trying to go. I'm thinking faster than I can say it. But I'm going to show that one. I just haven't had a chance to really open it and look at it, as I've been working on these and making some twiddle muffs and doing other things. Last Friday, early in the morning, well, we left about 7. The place opens at 7. My sister-in-law and I went and picked blueberries. And it was very nice and pleasant early on, but when it got to be 9:30, 10 o'clock, it started getting hot and humid. But it was cooler than it has been here on that day. Today's supposed to be really hot. Our heat index is supposed to get up to 111 to 116, I believe it said. So we have a heat advisory here in East Texas. So it'll be warm. This is a good day to be inside. Last night, it was about midnight, the electricity went off. And all I could think of was, oh Lord, please, please get the electricity back on, because I'm going to burn up. We've got a heat advisory, today, and it came back on a little while later. I think the wind had got picked up and knocked, I don't know, a tree got knocked over. We have lots of trees in East Texas. So, sometimes trees get knocked over on the electric lines, so we will lose power for a while. They're pretty good at getting it back on, I must say. I have to. Now, some people who live further out might not have gotten it on. I don't live in the city limits. We live just a little bit out, and the town is little, if you want to call it a city. I more or less call it a town because it's so small. But I love our little town. I do. The people are, as on a whole, everyone is very sweet and kind. Um, when you're teaching school, sometimes you meet all kinds of people. Yes, you do. So, I don't know. I remember one teacher, she had a teacher conference, and she said that the father of this child was there and the mother. He had on his eyelid a picture of an open eye. So when his eyes would be closed, you would still have an open eye, like always watching. That kind of freaked her out, and I just cannot imagine right on top of the eyeball having a tattoo done. Now, I did have my eyeliner on my eyes. That's tattooed on. And I've had people ask if it was painful. Yes, it was. Someone's getting you with a needle, but it was, to me, it was not unbearable. The lady doing my tattoos on there said she has some people who just squirm and move and hop around, and she tells them, listen, if you can't sit still, I can't do this. it's not going to come out. So she was very pleased that I was able to sit still and not be hopping around while she was poking around in my eye, doing my eyeliner. I didn't want my eyeliner to go, that would look really, really strange. And I know when I'm doing this coughing stuff, I sound like a smoker, but I'm not. Those are from allergies, and if it gets too bad, I will use my inhaler. Normally, I just use my Flonase in my nose, but I've never smoked. But sometimes it'll sound like it if I laugh because of that. I don't know. Maybe you know what causes. I've never really asked the doctor. She just prescribed me a inhaler to use if it gets bad. If I can't breathe. For example, I went ahead and used it before we went out to pick blueberries because I knew I was going to be outdoors for hours, and I did want to get to a point where I was having more trouble breathing, because if I'm going to be outside, I really need to use it. Our grass pollen and ragweed pollen is very high right now, and it shows it's going to be high for a while. So I know others of you deal with allergy problems. It's just something we live with, I suppose. Seems like the older I've gotten, the worse it has gotten. So I don't know. Or maybe it's just more pollen in the air. Who knows? I don't know what it is. Because I've heard others say this year has seemed rougher on their allergies than other years. So that's another thing. I know a lot of you suffer from really painful illnesses, and some of them are unseen, and people maybe don't believe that you have an illness. That's exactly how I feel with my anxiety. It's something I can't control, and I used to be afraid to tell people about it and that I took medication, because I thought, oh, they're going to think I'm weak, and why are you depressed? What do you have to be depressed about? Well, I may not have anything to be depressed about at the moment, but things just magnify themselves, and it is also in my genes. My father had the same problem. He was not diagnosed correctly, and he did not get the medication and help that I did, and he suffered a lot. It was hard for him, but boy, I tell you what, he was tough. He had his own business. He was a CPA. His business was in Houston. I lived in Houston until I was 16, and we moved to this smaller town. My parents were older when they had me, so when we moved here, he would drive back and forth to Houston on days, because some of the time he could do the work from the house. He didn't have to go in because his clients trusted him and they could tell him things sometimes over the phone. I'll never forget, one of his clients was a funeral director, and my dad said he always hated it when he'd ask him, how things going. He said, business has been great this year. That always bothered him, and I understand why. Because, you know, if you're, well, I don't have to explain that, but he used to talk about that, and he said, that always makes me feel bad when he would mention it. But yeah, he was really good at what he did. I'm pretty sure my daughter got her intelligence and smartness from my dad. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I mean, I'm not dumb, but my daughter is so smart. In college, she was going for a chemistry major, and she was almost finished with her chemistry major, but she found out she was going to have to wait another year to take the class she needed to finish up her chemistry major. Well, she was going to graduate. This was in the springtime, and they were going to make her wait till the next spring before she could take that course. Or maybe it was the fall, I don't remember. But she said, no, I'm graduating this year. Her boyfriend had already graduated and was working. And so she said, she changed her major to biology with a chemistry minor. So she graduated magna cum laude with all of this science in her background. I'm just so proud of her. I know that her English skills, she got a lot of that from me because I was always good in that. Her math and science, I would devote to my husband and to my dad because they are both very good in those areas. Well, especially my husband in science. I've got and when my husband and I were in college, he actually got a scholarship to play baseball at a different college, but he wanted to be with me, so he gave that scholarship up, and he was going to go for a science degree. He thought that's what he wanted to do, so he was in his chemistry class, and let me shake these up a little. See how nice you can shake them around? Sometimes I pick them up and shake them, but I'm just going to do it like this. It'll work. And just lean it back a little bit, and I've got a line that I can just go right down. On these big ones like this, I normally don't use my multi-placer when it's something that's really important to me because I like to really just take my time and enjoy this. This one I'm really enjoyed doing. On some of my other ones, I'll show you my multi-placer. You've seen me use it with Scotch tape. I did a video on that and how easy, the double-sided tape, I'll put it that way. Anyway, he decided, okay, he was in his chemistry class and they were doing an experiment. And the experiment was dealing with some type of acids. So he had his Bunsen burner going over his concoction, whatever it was, in his tube. And he put the stopper in the tube. Evidently you weren't supposed to. I don't know. I never really quite got what happened. All I know is that the pressure in the test tube just kept building and building until that stopper went poof out. It hit his professor, bald-headed professor, in the head. His professor happened to be bent down at the time. Boop, right in the head. My husband, I guess the acid spewed, I'm not really sure since I wasn't there, and his shirt caught on fire and was burning, and he's running around the room, and he said this girl was behind him trying to pat the fire out. he's they have a shower in there where you're supposed to get underneath it, but they got it out. I just remember him coming to my dorm and showing me the burn he had. Well, I had an aloe vera plant in my room my mom had given me for, I don't know. Anyway, I cut a piece of the aloe vera and I spread that onto his burn, and it helped it. It soothed him right away. So I think at that point he decided maybe chemistry was not his forte. So he went into business and he got a business degree. But if you've listened to me before, you know my husband is a mechanic. He did not use his business degree. My husband is the kind of person who cannot sit still, cannot be kept inside. That's just the way he is. And some of you, I think, probably have some guys that you know that are like that. He was always out doing things. So he got the business degree, but his dad was a mechanic, and Jerry, that's my husband, did mechanicking. He's a natural. He's ASE certified in every engine that there is for GM. He's ASE certified. He's actually a service manager, but a lot of the mechanics have to ask him questions for him to help them. I mean, he was a mechanic. He started out as a mechanic, and he was always really good at it. In fact, there was a brain surgeon that lived in Houston. He would only let Jerry work on his car, and a lot of people would only let Jerry work on their car because they knew he's pretty much OCD. I'll put it that way. He's the kind of person who has to go out and check something more than once because he's not sure if he has done a certain thing. Now, as far as doors being locked, he's not like that, or the washing hands. His has to do with other things. So, one of those things is going back and checking that he has tightened the bolts on a car. Because like he told me, people's lives are in his hands with those cars. He said, you know, if I left a bolt loose on a tire, the tire could come off. And he has seen cars that come from other shops, and there will be sometimes missing bolts in there, missing screws, or whatever's inside under that engine or on the axle and all of that. He's found places that were left loose, and he's like, you know, people's lives are in my hand. He double, triples, quadruple checks those bolts, and he tries to stress that with the mechanics that are under him, but they don't always listen. So, you know, not trying to scare anybody, but sometimes those things get left undone. And then, anyway, he has a business degree, but he decided to go into mechanicking. Now he hates it. I mean, I guess we all get to the point that we sometimes just really don't like what we're doing. Some days are just worse than others, and as a service manager, he gets a lot of people coming in and complaining. Well, that's okay if there's a reason to complain about something, but he has people coming in there and they'll want to get warranty work done on their car when their car may be 10 years old and have 150,000 miles on it. You can't do warranty work on cars like that. GM ain't gonna pay for it, so the mechanics don't get paid. So if you're working, you like to get paid, right? Well, the guys there want to get paid too, and they do not get, okay, let's say it tells you that they charge $100 an hour. Well, let me tell you something. The mechanics do not, they get a fraction of that. Some places will give 50-50. They get, the business gets 50%. Some places the mechanics will get 40%, the business gets 60%. It depends on the business. and then they're paid on commission by what they get done. So if people bring in a lot of warranty work, now my husband he's paid by salary, so he's not on a commission. He used to be, and I tell you what, he worked his butt off. He worked hard. That's why people loved him. And not saying he doesn't work hard now. In fact, he will do some of the other mechanics' works to help them to be able to make enough money to pay their bills, because sometimes they don't make enough to even do that. So, you know, every job has their problems. Doesn't matter what it is. So when the next time when, you know, I try to keep this in mind when I get upset about something, try not to blame the person who's not even in charge or has nothing to do with it. My husband has to tell GM every time that they have to work on a car, and they need to, especially if it's warranty work, and they'll decide whether they're going to pay for it or not. And then my poor husband's the one that has to be the bearer of bad news at times, and so, of course, who do they take it out on? Him, because they're not talking to the GM representative. And I don't know. It's just hard. Okay. Well, I'm getting along a little bit faster. I've got off my sad subject. I'm sorry. It's just that sometimes I do. I do. I already told you I get. Can get that way, but I will talk about other things and get my mind off of it. As a teacher, yeah, we had our own problems. I know that parents will come and chew the teacher out sometimes over something that sometimes it's not the teacher's fault. The district makes the teacher do certain things whether they want to do them or not. And as far as all these tests go, the district doesn't even have any say over that. That is a state. In Texas, they take the STAR test. I think pretty much every state has some type of test that they take. And I hate those tests. And there are companies making a lot of money testing your kids. And I do not like it. And it's the main reason I don't like it is it is so stressful on those children. I cannot stand to see them. We've had some kids come in and they'd be throwing up. They were so upset, or they were crying. We're talking even junior high age. We've had some parents who decided they weren't sending their kids to school on test day, and I can't say that I blamed them, but it can, I guess, affect further down in the line whether your child goes to the next grade or not. I don't know. I don't know everything about it, what the state decides to do on that, but the tests are ridiculous. The teachers have no idea what's going to be on the test. People somehow think that, I don't say all of the people, but a lot of people think the teachers know what's on the test and they're not doing their job teaching the things that are going to be on the test. Well, it's kind of hard to teach the subject that's going to be on the test, and it shouldn't be. You should not spend a whole year teaching to some test that people have sat around. Yeah, there are people who sit and make up these questions. I don't know where they get some of them. Some of them were former teachers, or some of them are teachers, and it's ridiculous. Some of them have never been in a classroom before. So you have people making up questions, not letting anybody know what's going to be, those questions are going to be and what they're looking for. The teachers are given a set of standards that they have to teach. And those kids are having to learn things so fast, it's not fair. So they don't get to me, they don't get, I don't think, a good enough chance to learn a material good enough to be able to be tested on it, or to learn it and retain it. We all know how we learn. we learn by doing things over and over again. The more you do something, the better you get at it. But also think about this. Yes, I believe all kids can learn, definitely. Every person can learn, but everybody learns at a different rate, and that is something that is not being allowed in the schools. You may have a child who is a whiz at math, and man, they could move on and keep on going, and going and going, but maybe they're not so good at English, because I taught English, and sometimes I'm just like, really, do these kids really need to know what a hanging participle is, or a preposition, and different things. I mean, yes, I think they need to know English and be able to write a complete sentence and be able to write where they are understood. I don't know that they need to be able to be given a topic that maybe they know nothing about and come up with reasons why they support that topic. If it's something that they really believe in, that's an easy job. But if it's not something you really care about, maybe not. I mean, the writing prompt could be something like, your school is going to adopt a new dress code. And they might give some of the things that are on the dress code, or they may tell you to come up with it. And they want you to write to the school board as to what they think about why they do or why they do not like the proposition that is being brought up, or tell, whether they do and tell maybe what and why. Why don't you like it? And maybe how you could change it. And some people just like, I don't really care. And if you think about it, they're going to speak in their language, because that's how we write. Normally is how we speak. And if you don't read a lot, because that's a lot of how we learn to write is from reading other people. I know when I was teaching writing, I always had the kids watch me write something. I would write on a topic that I was going to give them, and I would show them my thought process. And I'd show them how I wrote. And people think, oh, well, they're going to copy what you wrote. No, they don't. They may copy a little bit of it, but that's okay. That's how you learn, by watching someone else. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm giving a workshop here. I'm sorry. Let me get off of that. I'm sure you don't want to hear that kind of stuff, but if you have kids at home that might, and they're struggling with writing, that's something you might let them see you write something. And if you're not a good writer, that's okay. Just do the best you can. And we have a lot of kids who don't enjoy reading, and you probably have kids or grandkids that hate reading. To me, reading needs to be started from the time they are in the womb. You can be reading to your child while you're pregnant. You establish a love of reading sometimes by reading to your child. Read to them. Let them see you read. Okay, should I change this to like an education channel or what? I'm just going along and just spouting my mouth off about things that have nothing to do with this. Maybe that's why nobody wants to listen. I'm sorry, but I'm enjoying this painting so much. This is on a short length canvas, and let me tell you something. When I'm pressing these drills down, it's almost like a cushion. I feel like there's a cushion underneath it. So there is a difference when you're using different types of canvases. I'm not going to say one's better than another. I just enjoy using different types. I know some people say, oh, they'll stick better to this canvas. Well, how does anyone know? This is a relatively new craft, hobby, whatever. Putting these different kinds of glues and putting these drills down. how do we know how long they're going to last? Unless someone has had one for 5 years, 10 years. I have one that it's probably, I don't know, a year and a half old. It was a partial that I did of a tree with crystals. Nothing has come off of it. I didn't frame that one for a long time, and I did not seal it either. I normally like to frame my things, and I have some framing videos if you're interested. I like to show my framing videos. I try to keep it very simple because I want to get back to diamond painting. And I don't like to spend a whole lot of money on the frames. Now, I would if it was something that I was going to give to someone really special. I might spend extra. But I know there are some people that spend $100, $200, $300 on them, and I just can't do that. So I show some very inexpensive ways to do framing, just because I can't afford to do those kinds of things, you know. We got a teacher here, a mechanic, and we try to save some money, you know, to for emergencies. You got to try to do that too. So anyway, I try to do things that, and I will buy some of these, and people think, well, that's a splurge, and it is. Do I need them? Well, it does help my hand. I don't need as many as I have right now, but I don't get them every. I see people buy that have over 100 of them. They like to collect them, and that's fine. Everybody likes to collect things. At one time, I used to collect seraphim angels. Now, they're just dust collectors to me, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get my collection down, because they're not cheap. Back when I was purchasing them, it'd be $50, some $75. I was given a lot for gifts. People get them for me for Christmas and my birthday. You know, it was an easy thing for them to pick out. Now I don't want things sitting around in the house so much. I don't want to have to dust those suckers. So I'm going to try to get rid of some of them. Just trying to figure out how I'm going to do it. I don't know. You know, I've even thought about, well, maybe I can give them as gifts. How wrong is that? Is it wrong or isn't it? I don't know. Because a lot of them are retired. You can't find them anymore. I don't know if they go up in value because I didn't check. So, I don't know. Have you ever given something away that you used to collect and you decided you didn't want them anymore? What do you do? I know some people sell on eBay or have garage sales, and I mean, I guess I could do a yard sale or something. People around here don't have much money at all, and that's okay. That's the reason I was thinking, you know, maybe I'll give them to a charity shop. And I know they were talking about it at one charity place, of people donating things, and then they could sell them like at Christmas time or whatever, have a store, and they would be able to purchase those things and give them as gifts, but could buy them at a much cheaper price. I never heard if they ever did it or not. Maybe I should check that out. I said I do a lot of things for charity, and I try to help people who are in need if I win and if I can, and you know, that's important to me. Helping others, and you know, try not to be selfish. Anyway, I've probably talked more than you wanted to hear at this point in time. So I'm going to get ready and say goodbye to you guys. And if you've stayed with me this long, I appreciate it. And if you're still with me and you think of some type of way that I can, you know, make more interesting videos, or what would you like to see, just let me know. So I'm going to stop for now, and you guys have a blessed day. Take care. And I do love you guys. Bye.